friends, coming to you today with an idea I come up with that may solve a problem that I have had for many Christmases. When I was growing up, and I would say even up until about 10 years ago, when you bought a shirt or a gift, they would always ask you, did you need a gift box? Well, the stores here where I live do not give gift boxes anymore. There may be a few exceptions to the rule. So I always meant that I had to go out and buy gift boxes, or I had to go buy gift bags. So I thought I would take some of my large garbage pieces and transform them into gift wrap. What generated this idea of mine was a friend of mine asked, did I want this extra large oatmeal container? And I said, sure, I'll find something to do with it. Now, I also have an empty 12-pack of soda. I have an empty saltine cracker box, and then a shoebox from some shoes my husband just bought. Now, so I challenged myself to decorate these boxes using everyday things that most people have, even if you're not an avid crafter. I need to ask myself, can I use paper, can I use fabric, or can I use paint? One of those three things, or all three, could possibly work. So I want you to take these ideas that I show you today and make them your own. Use what you have, because if you have to go spend $1 on transforming a Coke box, you're defeating the purpose. You can go buy a gift bag for $1. So that's the reason why I wanted to show you these ideas using $0. Now, the only thing that I am going to use in one of my boxes is one of these 97-cent Christmas picks. Just about everybody has some kind of little Christmas flower or foliage at their house somewhere. This package is going to be made out of a 42-ounce oatmeal can. And I'm going to make a Grinch head with a Christmas hat. All I had was kind of a dark burgundy piece of scrap felt. You could use a red t-shirt or any kind of red fabric from a shirt you could cut up. And because the Grinch is kind of grungy, I think this dark burgundy is going to still give me the same effect. It'll definitely look like a Christmas hat when I get done. And I use some cotton ball for my fluff around the hat, and a green paint, of course, or you could cover the can in green fabric or green paper. I printed off just a Grinch face. You just Google Grinch face. There's many to choose from. And then a highlighter marker to make the yellow of his eyes. So the first thing I need to do is go ahead and paint my container, and then I'll get back with you. Painted now. It took me 3 coats of the apple barrel paint. If you had better paint, it may only take less, but it would be certainly easier just to cover it in green paper if you had it. Now I'm ready to do my Christmas hat. I just measured the circumference of my can, and it just so happened my scrap piece was exactly how long I needed it. Now this direction is how long your hat's going to be. All right, I'm going to fold my scrap piece in half, and then I'm going to come up about 1 inch, and then I'm going to cut it at an angle to that corner. What that's going to do is this little inch I come up with, that's going to create the band of where I'm going to put my little cotton fluff, and then cutting at an angle will give me the cone Santa hat shape. I'm just going to hot glue it at an angle. Remember, your hot glued seam will be in the back, so it'll never show. When you Google Grinch face, you will come across 50 different kind of Grinch faces. Every one is different. So that's the good thing, is if you don't get this exactly transferred, it's still going to look like a Grinch face if you make those kind of shaped eyes and that mouth. So what I did is I took my printed sheet and a pencil, and I scribbled really good on the back. The graphite of this pencil is what's going to transfer onto the can. I'm going to take my can and my face, going to trace. I'm just trying to give myself a little something to go by instead of trying to totally freehand the Grinch face. You was able to see how quick and easy I was able to transfer the lines, and then just took my Sharpie marker and filled it in. It's not exact, but you'd never know. Now I'm going to take my highlighter marker and fill in where normally the whites of his eyes would be. All right, there's my Grinch face. He looks so much better. All right, now I've went ahead and cut and hot glued my fabric to fluff up some cotton balls and glue them right here to finish out my hat, and hot glue a cotton ball to the end of the hatch. My next container is the 12-pack Coke box, and I'm going to recreate one of those vintage plastic candles that used to be in everybody's yard in the 70s. I'm going to make it easier on myself and wrap this box in some red paper. I just happen to have red paper. It'd be a whole lot easier than trying to do 2 or 3 coats on this box. So I'm going to just wrap the box in red paper, and then I'm going to leave the bottom unwrapped, and I can always go and put a red square there after I get my gift in there. Now I'm ready to put the little white drips going around the top of the candle. Honestly, I don't know if it's supposed to be snow or if it's supposed to be wax drips. Probably wax drips. There's no right or wrong way. I'm just going to do some little loops. I just cut out both pieces of felt at the same time, just free-handed it. And this is what I'll hot glue around the top, around the edges. And I didn't like the top of my box still being red, so I just cut out another piece of felt so I could cover up the top completely, and I like that a lot better. But you could certainly do this with paper, the same thing. Now, as far as the flame for the top of the candle, I just took a yellow piece of cardstock I had and folded it in half and just kind of free-handed a flame shape. I'm going to fold it to where it's got a little bit more of a flat bottom right here, and I'm going to hot glue the edges, and I'm going to stick a couple cotton balls in there and kind of give it a little bit more of a 3D effect, so it's not just a flat piece of paper glued on top. All right, I'm going to trim out my letters, the Noel, put those on the front. All right, my third container I'm going to make over is just a saltine cracker box. I'm going to make a Christmas lantern out of it, and I need to paint this box black. With it being black, it may only take a couple coats. But to embellish the lantern, I've got just a couple pieces of cream cardstock. I cut some black cardstock into some strips. I have another little piece of jewelry box. I have a spray can lid, or the top of my lantern, you could either cut down a styrofoam cup, black paint, glue stick, and hot glue. And this is the one where if you had a little Christmas ribbon or a Christmas pick, it will really finish it off. All right, I've got my cracker box painted black now, and it only took a couple coats like I thought. The black covers a whole lot better than some of the other colors. I painted the top of the little jewelry box I had. I'm going to hot glue that on there. And then with my paint can lid, I don't have to paint that black, so I'm just going to also tie a piece of jute twine through the top. I just poked 2 holes in each side, and I'm going to string a little handle through the lid and then hot glue that on top, and that's going to be the top of my lantern. Great. Now I'm ready to put my 4 little windows on all 4 sides of the cracker box. So I measured one side, and I come up with a measurement of 3 by 7. So I cut 3 by 7 rectangles, and I didn't want them just rectangle, so I took a cup here and rounded the end of them, and so now I have some arched looking windows to go on my lantern. I also have cut some little black strips that I'm going to decorate up the little windows with a little bit of crisscross lattice on there. My final project is using this red shoebox, and just so happened this project is going to be red. I'm going to make one of those really cute letters to Santa mailboxes you may have seen at Target and Walmart. And how cute would it be to stick the gift in a box that looked like a mailbox? I definitely am going to cut the lid off of the shoebox. All right, the first thing I did is I took what I printed off, put it on the top of my box right here, just so that I could gauge about how tall I needed my mailbox to be. And took a straight edge. Now here on the side, I just did an angle. What I'll do is I'm going to measure from the top of the box to that angle, and here on the other side, so that I can make sure that I get the same angle on this side. So I'm going to cut the top of that box off. All right, I'm going to show you the inside of my box now. I've got the bottom attached and the 2 sides with clear shipping tape. Now I'm going to back up here just so you can get an idea of what the whole box looks like. Now I'm going to lay it down on its back, and then I've got a platter here that's kind of the shape that I want the back of the mailbox. I'm going to kind of trace it and give the back of my mailbox a little bit of a curved shape. Now, once I get the back cut with a little bit of angle, then I have to work on just my flap. That's all that's really left before I paint it. It just so happened that the end of the shoebox has like a little slot that just looks like a mail slot. So I'm definitely going to utilize that. Just cut the end of the shoebox off, hot glue it right here to create my flap, and then I'll be ready to paint. Alright, before I start painting my mailbox, I just wanted to give you another good inside look at the box. I did put a piece of shipping tape right there, and then here is my flap. This is the end of the shoebox lid, and I needed my lid to hang over just a little bit so it would look more like a mailbox. I left a little tab here. I'm going to hot glue it on each end, help it stay secure. The shipping tape does a great job. It really looks like a mailbox. I'm going to give it a couple coats of red paint, and I'm almost finished. Alright friends, I have all 4 of my projects done. I purposely didn't show you the end result of them because I wanted to put them all together and just give you my afterthoughts and tips of exactly what I did. So the first one here is my little Grinch head. There's not a whole lot else to say about him other than he looks a lot harder to create than he really was. You know, I've said this many times before, I'm no artist, and this clearly looks like a Grinch head. I just love how he turned out. I just pulled the cotton balls apart and hot glued them all around, so the recipient will just pull the hat off, and there is their gift. Now this one right here, you could actually embellish this one even more. Use wooden letters or any kind of letter stickers. You could use glitter on the flame. You could put greenery down here at the bottom. Just jazz it up even more, and just love the look of this vintage candle. The next one is the cracker box. I don't think anyone would ever guess that this was a cracker box. I ended up hot gluing the little window panes on there because the glue stick just wasn't strong enough. But the recipient will just open the gift from the bottom if you don't want them to completely tear it up. Same way with the candle. And last but not least is my red shoebox mailbox. Now I'll be honest with you, because the shoebox was bright red, that made my job a whole lot easier. It only took 1 coat of red paint. Now you could achieve the same look with any shoebox, but it may take you 2 or 3 coats of red paint. Now I had the vision for this shoebox, but I never imagined that it would just fall into place the way it did. I mean, it seriously just worked out. Even the little handle on the end of the shoebox just worked out perfect for the mail flap. Now I do need to paint the inside. After I painted it red, I just dry brushed it with a little black paint just to give it a little aged character. A lot of them will have raised letters like the ones at Target and Walmart. I just made it easier on myself, and plus I didn't want to spend any money. I just printed it off and used a glue stick and glued it on there, and I think I've got an adorable end result. So I hope you enjoyed seeing these as much as I enjoyed creating these, and you will give any container you throw away in the next few weeks a second look. You can create these adorable gift packaging ideas for 0 cost out of your pocket. Thanks for watching. I hope I inspired you, and I'll see you in a few days. Bye-bye.